guess I just need to deal with it, you know? Face the fear and the guilt. Finally say his name. Ben Willis. Ben Willis.
I know.
You know? How could you?
I know what you did last summer.
Listen, it's been 2 summers, and they didn't even kill him. Can this guy just get over it?
It's like it's too much. Is 1 summer enough, or is it 2? Like
No, two summers. It's like, yeah, you had a bad time, but like you know the phrase like, I can forgive, I just can't forget.
Yeah.
It's like let's get with the forgiving here. You don't have to forget. We're not asking him to forget about them almost killing him and dumping his body in a river or whatever. But let's move on with our lives here, right?
It's like Matthew Kidman, right? I'll never forget the girl next door. All he has to say is, "I'll never forget last summer," you know. But
he's gonna send a note every summer. I know.
I know.
Oh, I know. Well, we know you know. We know.
How
you
could
know.
you? They did. I mean, in fairness to him, they did dump his body in the ocean.
But it's not like they didn't tie a cinder block to his ankle. Like he's fine.
That's all they needed.
He's fine.
That's all they really. That he never would have forgot. That he really wouldn't forget if he did that.
No forgiving either. No forgiving.
We'll definitely have to come back to that. Because I have some thoughts. Yeah. But this is episode 135 of the Last Row Podcast. Welcome back to all the listeners, all the new listeners, everybody that's checking the show out. If you're looking for our website, thelastrowpodcast.com, follow us on all the social channels at The Last Row Pod. Check us out on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. Please consider subscribing. Leave a 5-star review if you're enjoying the show. Thanks to everybody that's done so far. This is, the second sequel of the Summer of Sequels, Badway?
Second sequel of the Summer of Sequels. I still know what you did last summer. Or as I would have titled it, I know what you did last summer, Ray goes to the Bahamas.
Ray's journey.
Ray's journey. I know what you did last summer, Ray's journey. Because that's really what my favorite part of the movie was following Ray in his journey to the Bahamas.
It's such a minor part of the movie, but it's probably the best part of the movie. So
yeah, probably should have spent more time with Ray, I think.
Yeah, it's been a while since we had a good colon.
Yeah. More Freddy, more Jack Black, and this movie could have done something. I don't know. Maybe.
Co-signed.
Yeah. So, yeah, I still know what you did last summer, but still, by the way, that's a good title, right? That's a good sequel title. I like that they did something different there.
It's good, because it could have been I Know What You Did Last Summer, too.
Yeah. I Know What You Did 2 summers ago. Like, come on.
I think the third one is I'll Never Forget What You Did Last Summer.
I'll always? Is it I Never Forget or I'll always?
But isn't it, so if it's 2 summers ago, shouldn't it be I Still Know What You Did 2 summers ago? It's not last summer. It's 2 summers ago.
I still know what you did that one summer.
That summer. That's what I still know what you did that summer. Not last summer, that summer.
But like the always, right? That's like in Batman Forever territory where it's like, where do you go from there? Yeah. You set the bar so high, you can't have a sequel.
Yeah, there's forever. Like, what do you do? Infinity?
It's like Batman Forever and Ever.
Yeah. That's what they should have made.
The next one would have been Batman and Ever.
Yeah. Forever and Ever.
Yeah. November 13th, 1998. A year after the first one.
Which is crazy. Like, they must have greenlit it immediately.
Yeah.
Like, before they even, before this one was in theaters, they were filming the sequel.
Yeah. I didn't see these movies in theaters or the Scream ones. I feel like I remember these are Laneco VHS rentals.
Yeah.
You know, right before the advent of DVD. It's like the last hurrah of VHS. Runtime 1 hour, 41 minutes, too long. Listen, do you know why it's too long? Do you have an idea? I have an idea.
Yeah, I mean, all the scenes of Mekhi Phifer being blue-balled. I mean, I just don't need him complaining about it for 20 minutes.
That's one. And two is just the constant fake-outs, Drew.
Yeah, there was too many.
Of obvious, this is not the killer. Oh, it's Brandy in the closet. It's just taking up way too much time.
It was too much.
We could definitely have got this thing in under 90 minutes.
Yeah, way too long, in my opinion. Like they should have cut off 10 minutes. It didn't need to be an hour and 41. I think it's the same as the last one, but the last one earned the runtime.
It earned it. The genre, horror / slasher, directed by Mother Effin' Danny Cannon. Is this guy's real name?
Yeah,
real
Julie
name.
James and Danny Cannon. Like
Danny
this ain't
Effin' Cannon.
This ain't I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
Julie James and
Triple
Danny
X.
Cannon definitely had some scenes together.
That's there's a couple scenes.
Freaking Danny Cannon. Do you know what other big movie that Danny Cannon directed?
I looked this up, and isn't it something we did?
No, but it's something we should have did. Judge
should've
Dredd.
did it. Yeah, that's
Judge
right. That's
Dredd.
right.
Sylvester
Danny
Stallone's
Cannon.
Judge Dredd.
So yeah, this guy is not the same director as the first movie.
No.
He was famously held up, and he's got all kinds of thoughts on what this movie is and should have been, but he didn't do it himself.
Look, the director, all I got to say about this is Danny Cannon, I'm a fan, okay?
Yeah.
He didn't write this movie. It's not his fault. It's not his fault.
Didn't.
He did his best.
I don't blame this guy at all. I mean, look, it's fine. It's a sequel. It's a sequel. We should probably decide that. Like when we do Summer of Sequels, we never really said, was it a good sequel or not? And we should probably decide that at the end of this for the rest of these movies that we do.
Yeah, we know that National Treasure 2 was a good sequel. So.
Yeah, it was.
IMDb 4.7 out of 10.
Too high.
Yeah, probably.
Too high.
A very disrespectful Rotten Tomatoes 7%. We got a single digit, Drew. We don't get too many of these.
Slightly too low.
It's like an 11.
Yeah, slightly too low.
Metacritic 21%. That's fair.
That's probably about right.
Letterboxd 2.3 out of 5.
I think
this is a 1.9 movie, Drew. It's a 1.9.
I think I gave it a 2.5 because you can only do halves, but
yeah. This is a 1.9.
Yeah, it's no Spider-Verse
Yeah.
for you.
A year after killing vengeful hit-and-run victim Ben Willis, or so they thought.
Killing.
Who gutted her friends with an iron hook. Jeez. Pancaked by a dump truck driver, Drew.
Gut you like a fish.
Yeah. College student and ex-adult film star actress Julie James is still shaken by the experience when her roommate, Carla, wins a vacation for 4 to the Bahamas. She plans to bring along her boyfriend, Tyrell, attractive Will, and Julie. At the resort. Attractive Will. I mean, that's beauty's in the eye. I mean, come on.
That guy was a geek.
He's a geek. He's a creep.
Until he wasn't.
Julie starts receiving threatening notes and realizes Ben is still alive.
So the question, remember when she got the note in the room and Will jumped in and was like, I surprised you?
Yeah.
Did Ben write that and he delivered it?
I think he did. I think he just delivered it.
And by the way, if you guys have not seen this movie, we are going to spoil the hell out of it. It's obviously a horror movie with some twists. So if you don't want to have it spoiled, turn it off now and then come back and listen to it.
You've had 25 years, people.
Yeah,
Come on, let's go.
You don't need to. You just need to know that there's spoilers in case you care about that sort of thing.
Ben's son. Ben's son.
Ben's son. Just in case, you're thinking about it. So, I don't know why they have to put attractive Will and Julie. That's unnecessary.
I don't think they call Julie attractive. I think that's attractive
Will. Yeah.
And Julie.
They're
and
not
by the
talking
way,
about
Julie,
Will.
who's Jennifer freaking Love Hewitt.
At the height of Hewitting right now.
For Hewittness.
She's at the height of Hewitting. All right. There's a million taglines. I'll just blow through these. You tell me what you think. All right. I still know. I'm going to do one colon here and then we'll just do the rest. So I still know what you did last summer, colon. Some secrets will haunt you forever.
I like it.
Someone is dying for a second chance.
I like it.
I still know.
It's fair.
That's my favorite.
It's fair.
The sequel that will hook you again.
Shut up. Get out of here.
The story continues.
Lame.
Get hooked again.
Okay.
That sounds like offensive. Like, get hooked.
That's okay.
Get hooked.
I like it better than the sequel that will hook you.
Yeah. The man with the hook is back, and this time he's really mad.
I love this times. I'm in.
This time he's really mad.
I love the this times.
As opposed to last time. he was kind of mad last time. Yeah. Now he's really mad.
Once he thought about it for 2 summers, he's like, you know what? These
guys, they kind of threw me in the ocean, didn't they?
They kind of threw me. I can't believe that. I can't believe they did that. Yeah. I'm really mad.
And just to go with that, some people never forget.
They forgive, but they just can't forget.
And then this is remember the Ron Paul meme? It's happening again. That's all I can think about.
Lame.
I'm going with I'm going with the man with the hook is back, and this time he's really mad.
Some secrets will haunt you forever.
As opposed to last time. Get hooked again.
Get hooked.
Financials, and this is a bit of a controversy here. So according to IMDb and Wikipedia and everywhere that I could find, I didn't check Box Office Mojo, but a budget was around 65 million and it made 40 estimated worldwide gross. But then there was a fact on IMDb that said that the budget was incorrectly listed as 65 and it's actually 24. And the 65 accounts for all kinds of other stuff, promotional material, theater costs, and post-shooting box office costs, etc. So I don't know. I'm just going to assume that it didn't do as well as they wanted it to. I don't remember what the financials were for the first one, but I can't imagine this made as much.
And I'm just gonna say, who cares? Let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
What actually does matter here. Couple, and there's a ton of awards here, but I'm only going to go through the ones that we care about on this show. So first, you got Teen Choice Awards. Jennifer Love Hewitt,
of course,
winner of Choice Actress,
of course,
winner of Most Disgusting Scene. The killer attempts to slow roast Julie by locking her in a tanning bed that will take 15 years because it's UV radiation. He's going to give her skin cancer in 30 years.
Is what's disgusting about it. I mean, she was fine. She was
like slow roast in the thing. He didn't even turn it up. Like they should have showed him turn it up or something like in Deuce Bigelow.
Or like break it. You gotta break it so like it heats forever.
It heats forever. But she was just locked in there. She couldn't get out. Okay, he zip tied it. She was fine.
It's nothing disgusting about it. They just wanted to give Jennifer Love Hewitt another award.
Yeah. And then this one, I'm going to go through the categories because I just had to know who else was. But it was 1999 nominee for Choice Sleazebag.
Ooh.
Matthew Settle, who's the guy who plays Will Benson, whatever,
Teen
right?
Choice Awards just spoiling movies in 1999.
Yeah. He lost to former I Know What You Did Last Summer actress Sarah Michelle Gellar for Cruel Intentions. But man, look at some of the people that are in this category.
Ryan Felipe.
Yeah. So you had Ryan Felipe in there too. Cruel Intentions. Sarah Michelle Gellar won. Then you had Andrew Keegan from 10 Things I Hate About You. You had Mike Myers from Austin Powers 2. Or actually the first one, right? Then you had Angelica Huston from Ever After, Cinderella Story, Chris Cooper, October Sky, Ray Park, who plays freaking Darth Maul in Star Wars Episode 1.
Was he a sleazebag or was he like an evil scumbag?
He's just a villain. Like he wasn't a sleazebag.
And Austin Powers, like it's not a sleazebag if you're from the 60s. He's from, it was a different time.
That's just what it was.
It's a different time.
That's all he knows. That's all he knows.
That's all he knows.
I mean, not to make excuses, but no, you're right. Like Ray Park is just, he's like a Sith apprentice. Is that a sleazebag or it's more of just a villain? So
it's just a matter of circumstance. I don't know.
And then you got, I think you presented in 1999.
Oh, I remember this. I remember this well.
Entertainment Awards. I think you were the presenter for this, but
yep.
Favorite horror actress, Jennifer Love Hewitt, a winner. And then nominee, favorite actress, horror, Brandy Norwood. And then favorite supporting actor, horror, Freddie Prinze Jr. Winner.
Why wasn't Brandy in more things? She was pretty good.
She was good.
In this.
I thought she was really good.
She wasn't in a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah, I thought she was pretty good. I mean, there was a lot of other musicians making the transition. Like we've had, when we talk about different hip hop artists or just other R&B singers, just actors and singers alike, right? Christina Aguilera was in a couple things, but I thought Brandy was really good. She's one of the better actresses, singer, songwriter actresses that's out there. So, but yeah, let's. The first question I think I want to ask you, and we'll just kind of talk about this, but like, why does this movie exist? I know we're doing Summer of Sequels, but like, why? No.
Like, I'm not talking about why for the world because like people wanted the sequel. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the movie exists because Ben Willis can't drop a grudge. Yeah, the kids hit him with his car. Yeah, they threw him in the river and left him to die. They thought he was dead already, but enough time has passed that we can we get on with it?
Yeah.
He tried to kill him last summer. Unsuccessful.
Yeah.
Got his hand chopped off. Like that's enough. Like you're done. Like you had a whole summer to think it over. And just you double down with this elaborate hoax, the radio hoax.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, are you saying because it's been 2 summers, or because he had a summer that he failed to kill them? Like,
both.
So you get a grace period, right? They try to kill him, so he gets a summer to try to kill them back.
Yes.
And he fails.
He failed.
So because he failed and because it's been a summer, so you got the timer and the reciprocating act. Because he failed at both in the time limit, it's over. He's not allowed to
maybe it's like a shame on you. If I don't kill you the first summer, shame on you. If I don't get you a second summer, shame on me. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what's going on here. So maybe he's killing them not because he's mad at them anymore. He's mad at himself for not doing the job the first time. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's mad at himself.
So maybe that's why the movie exists. So there's nothing more to do with revenge. It has all to do with righting his wrongs.
But like what I don't understand, and maybe I don't know if we're going to villain scale him. I know we're trying to be selective about what we do here. We already did it. We'll go over his previous scores here, but like think about what his plan is in general, right? You sort of alluded to it. There's this giant radio station hoax. Like who did he actually want to go after? Was it just Ray and Julie? Is that it? Or did he really want to go back and he had disgruntled, like he had, angry people that he used to work with. So he figured he'd take them all out at the same time.
Now, you caught in this movie, they said that Ben Willis worked there.
He worked there
at that place. I missed that, and it's such a glossed over like line that I feel it doesn't even matter. So I think his focus is Julie for whatever reason, because Ray's the one that chopped his hand off. He already killed Ryan Felipe and Michelle Gellar, so like he's good, right? It's eye for an eye, and that he killed 2 kids, right?
Yeah, he got 2 of them. 2 out of 4. That's 50%.
He actually killed 3 kids if you consider like the person he actually like whatever he killed when he was out that fateful night that they hit him in his car and tried to throw him in the river. So like he's up 3 teenagers right now.
Yeah, you know? And that was the one that he wanted to kill because he wanted to kill the first guy that killed his son or his daughter, right? That was the whole point of the first movie. Yeah,
cut your losses, buddy. Like enough with it. Like this is just coming off as desperate at this point.
And I'll tell you what, he should be thanking Ray for cutting his hand off because he made him cooler because now he actually has a hook hand instead of just holding the hook. He should be thanking Ray.
So there's a whole second movie that I thought of, and I just kind of like spitball this to you as we were doing notes, right? Where this movie could have been so much better if it was a psychological thriller and there was no killer, right? The movie is half Julie, like scared because she has PTSD about someone coming after her, right? And then the other half is Ray, played by Freddie Prinze Jr., who couldn't go to the Bahamas because he got tied up in this elaborate scheme to where he uncovered a dead body. But let's pretend that the hook man wasn't out to get him there. It just kind of happened, right? So Ray is going to the Bahamas like on this journey. He has no money. He just has to pawn the engagement ring and all that. He's got to do that because he's mad because Julie went to the Bahamas with Will. And it's like this thing where it's like this colliding path of like 2 people who are, obsessed over different things that don't really exist.
Well, that would have been an infinitely better movie because, and it would have made a lot of sense because they're both dealing with the fact that they just were almost murdered last summer, right?
Yeah.
They didn't forget what happened last summer. No. And I feel like you're right. Like he didn't have the motivation. Like the motivation there it just wasn't there to me. And he went like psychopathic supervillain in this too, where they like showed his face. They had him talking. It's better when they don't do that. Like they don't show Ghostface. Like until the very end. But like that's different. I just didn't like that aspect of it. It wasn't working for me. And not to mention the fact that like you just mentioned it too with the radio station. We talked about that for a second, but like he's going to send his son to college just to pretend that he falls in love with Julie so that he can run this fake radio contest to send him on a trip to the Bahamas. Like it's so convoluted. It makes no sense. And I get it because it's a horror movie, but come on.
I don't know if you agree with me or not, but I'm under the impression that the kid, Will Benson, didn't actually attend that college legally. I think he's just hanging out, like attending classes, not signed up for these classes. He's just there to make Julie think he goes to school.
He's pulling a Sean Hunter. Corey, I'm in college now.
Yeah.
I'm in college now.
Right.
He's sitting in on the lectures.
Sitting in on classes because on the fisherman's salary, you can't afford the trip for 4 to the Bahamas to murder them on the island and send Will Benson to college. So you have to pick one or the other.
So do you let me ask you this, right? Was he actually doing the homework? Did he have to do the homework and stuff?
No, he doesn't. He hands the homework, and the professor's like, "Who is this?
Who is this guy?
I don't know who this person is."
So if you're the professor, like, do you just grade the paper anyway? Because it's like you got
probably. They're like, if I
it's on the pile. You might as well grade it anyway.
Who is Will Benson? He's not on my list.
Guy? I mean, Will Benson, is that even his real name? I mean,
no,
it's not.
It's not his real name. His name's probably freaking Chuck Willis. I don't know.
It makes no sense. And like, it's the most elaborate, like ridiculous, convoluted plan of all time that maybe it is accidentally genius. I don't know. But, you know, so let's talk about Julie James. Like you said, she's a recovering adult film star at the beginning of this. Just kidding, of course. But she opens the movie confessing to the priest, as you heard, right? What was that in her head again, like the end of the last movie? Because we left her in the bathroom at college, right? And he jumps out of a shower.
Yeah. So we're establishing she has PTSD, and it's totally understandable. Now, I hate to like break down a scene that didn't actually matter in the movie because it's all in someone's head, but I got to ask you. I have to ask you because this is like the burning question in my mind the entire movie. If you confess your crime to a priest, like is that like safe? Is that like the same thing as like patient doctor confidentiality?
Yeah. So you grew up in going to church, right? Did you do confession?
Yes.
Did you?
Yes,
I did too, right? And I think they told. I mean, at least they told you, right? Now, whether they actually do this or not, they told you that they're not going to tell on you, right? You could say whatever because, like, I feel like you're giving up your reputation as a priest. I'm assuming, I don't know what kind of, typically that kind of confessional looks like a Catholic church to me. That's what it looked like. So that's my experience. So that's what I'll speak about. But it seems like you can tell the priest they're not supposed to tell on you because, like, it's part of the sacrament, right? Like, they're not allowed. That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's almost like a sin to them if they tell on you. Even if they tell their buddies, right? Their other priest buddies, like who's going to know, right? God's going to know.
Their priest buddies.
You can't say. You got to keep that between the two. Now, what if Julie comes in, you know, another scenario, another person, hey, guess what? Guess what, priest? Hey, father. This guy, Billy, I'm going to kill him at 5:00 on Saturday. I just had to tell someone. I had to get it off my chest before I did it. But I'm going to do it. Okay, thank you. How many Hail Marys? Yeah,
but is
he obligated to stop that crime?
He can't. Well, first off, he can't absolve her of any sins because she didn't commit it yet, right? This is not precogs.
It's probably a sin to
think about it,
to yearn to kill someone.
Yes.
But that's you can absolve her of like impure thoughts or something.
That's
not of a pre-murder.
Yeah, right? he can observe her. Observe her. He can observe her and absolve her of the premeditated thoughts of I want to kill somebody. But she's saying she's going to do it. I don't think he can tell. He's not allowed. He can't tell, right? No, I don't know. If we have any priests listening, I would love to know. You should write us in thelastropodcast@gmail.com. Maybe listening to this is a
write
sin.
Us in
so
write us sins.
Yeah, we should go to confession after doing this episode, but I feel like I'm very curious what the right. I don't think they're allowed. I think they can't.
Like
that's what it.
I feel like if you're like a psychiatrist or psychologist, if someone says I'm gonna kill somebody, you got to turn them in, right?
That's the thing.
The bond between patient doctor legal bonds of privileged information are not as strong as spiritual bonds.
There you go.
There you go.
Man,
allegedly.
That's true. Allegedly. That's true. Yeah. That's true. I don't think that they have to tell the police, but I know that like if you're in therapy or something, like they're supposed to tell, like because that's if
you're a danger to yourself or someone else, you have to tell. Yeah.
You know, we should do End of Days. That's another. I don't know why I thought of that, but I really want to do that movie.
You just want to do another Arnold movie.
I do. I'm missing Arnold.
And we're running out of them.
Yeah, I know, right? It's so I don't know. I agree with you. I think they don't have to do it. But what about Will Ben's son?
Ben's son?
Is this another Evan Treborn event?
What's worse? Ben's son and Will, because like Willis is the name. Is that worse? Like play on words or Event Treborn?
I think Event Treborn is worse because it's like Event Reborn.
It doesn't even sound good.
It's like amateur hour. Yeah. That's like I'm 12 and I'm deep. That's what that is. Yeah. That's like you're trying to be deep, like Event Reborn.
I have to admit, like when he said Ben's son, I was like, oh no.
You did that thing where the guy's like falling at the tree.
Yeah.
That's what you did.
Like, oh shit.
I think Evan Treborn is worse because it's trying to be deep.
it was so, you don't hear this word thrown around very much, but it was so corny.
Yeah, it was.
But
that you loved it.
But I appreciated it. Yeah.
I kind of loved it. And I also love the idea that this guy is masquerading around like a Daniel Day-Lewis, like trying to blend in with students. And when he finally turned, like he went like comic book villain where he uppercutted her in the gut.
Yeah.
Like that was, whoa, you know? That's
he was cracking jokes. It's like this guy, like you see this in movies all the time where it's like they're the best actors of all time, like within the movie, where it's like they're a completely different person. You're right when you say Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah. When he uppercutted her in the gut, did it make you feel like when Mike Barnes like karate kicked Jessica Andrews like in the stomach? Like it was like, whoa, man,
it's like, whoa, too far.
A little too far. And I know she just scratched his arm, but
if you're gonna kill her eventually, then what does it matter if you sucker punch her in the gut?
Well, I think they wanted
Mike
to make
Mike Barnes' kick was kind of like more vicious because he had no intention on killing her. That's just
get out
assault.
of here.
That's just assault. That's thoughtless assault, which is somehow worse than a punch in the gut because you know you're going to kill her anyway.
I mean, and at least you could argue, well, she just cut him with a knife. And you're right.
Yeah,
Barnes
well, he got
was
mad.
just like, get out of here.
I get pretty mad too if somebody cut me.
Barnes was just like, get out of here.
Yeah.
He just like,
and it wasn't like a cut where it's like I got to go to the hospital. It was like ow.
Yeah. What did he say? He's like, well, that's going to leave a mark. Like he pulled that, and it was so. And again, really corny.
Yeah,
but
this guy turned. I hated this guy's turn.
How long was he trying to blend in? So what else was he doing? So he's pretending to go to college. He's pretending to be a radio DJ. Like, what is this guy's skills? And like, how long was he around? And did Ben Willis was like, yo, Evan, or whatever the hell his name is, Will, yo, you gotta help me out, son. He was like, all right, Dad, we're gonna get her, Dad.
Get her.
How did this guy blend in?
He knows it's Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yeah.
Listen, this is win-win. If he gets Julie to fall in love with him and hook up with him and all this other stuff, he might tell Dad to go screw off. Hey, listen, I got a good thing going here. I love this woman. All right, she loves me. We got a good thing going. Let's cancel the massacre at the island. All right. And if Julie, which she does, like promptly puts him in the friend zone where he belongs, then all right, Dad, let's move forward with the plan. Let's kill this bitch.
Yeah, that's you're right. Well, what about the idea of and take him out of a second, or maybe take yourself out of knowing that he's the killer. Put yourself in the beginning of this movie. Did you think it was a violation that he was trying to hook up with Julie? Like he wasn't outright trying to romance her. He was just kind of hanging around, and he was being a nice guy
with the knowledge that she has a boy back home.
Yes.
No, I think that's what one does in college.
You just hang around. You wait.
Yeah, I mean, Roy, Freddie Prinze Jr. is lucky that he just waited around and played nice guy.
He didn't try to make
a lot of other guys would be more aggressive towards that.
Yeah,
screw your boyfriend. Come with me. Do this. Do that. So he actually was pretty gentlemanly about it.
We'll come back to him in a second. Let's talk about Carla and Ty, played by Brandy and Mekhi. Is it Pfeiffer or Pfeiffer?
Pfeiffer.
Pfeiffer.
No, it's Mekhi Pfeiffer. Mekhi Pfeiffer.
Pfeiffer. I never knew how to say it.
It's Pfeiffer.
Is this dude like? I mean, I'm just gonna outright say it. Like this guy he is like the horniest guy of all time, right?
Yeah. It makes me think that they've never had sex together.
They never did it.
He's just like she's always like. There's always something.
Like,
where's my hair tie? Oh, you know what? I just forgot. I got to do the laundry. There's always something going on. And so that's where this guy's at, right? He's built up.
He's all backed up.
He's backed up.
but like, did he not make you mad during the movie? Like, I hated him. Like, he annoyed the hell out of me.
But like, you blame him sometimes.
I mean, but not because of that, but just like, he was just a miserable dude.
Yeah,
like,
he was a jerk
miserable
the whole time. He was very, very mean to Julie, said very insensitive things when he could have just not said anything at all.
Yeah.
Like, he was an unlikable character. And I think it was one of those things where when he got killed, it was supposed to be a cheering moment.
Cheering, right? Yeah, you cheer. Yeah. But they like played him nice but unlikable. It's like weird, right? Because he wasn't just like completely outright a jerk. Like he was a jerk in a lot of moments. Yeah. And he was super selfish because all he wanted to do was get laid.
Yeah.
But like, you're right. He seemed like the kind of guy that was trying to like take her virginity and then like run away. Like he didn't really like her, you know?
No, I wouldn't even go that far. I just think that like he's just frustrated that like there's always something with this girl.
There's always something.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you go in a public jacuzzi and you get mad that someone shows up, like that's on you, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's on you.
But
and
at the end of the movie, when he found out that there actually were murders and all that, like he was like heroic in trying to help. It's not like he was a coward. If he was cowardly, then like then he is totally redeemable. At least he tried to help.
He tried to help, but like he was trying to help, but he was also yelling at her for never telling her that Ben Willis was almost murdered. It's like, oh, screw me for not telling you that I almost murdered a guy.
My
like
deepest, darkest secret.
Yeah,
sorry, I didn't
how
tell
could
you.
you?
Sorry, I didn't tell you,
friends.
guy I just met.
Like, screw this guy, man. He was a jerk, and I hated him. And I think so. Let me ask you this: you're on vacation, you're there with Brandy, and you're trying to hook up in the bed there. You're trying to hook up in the bedroom, and she says, "Hey, I want to go to the jacuzzi. I got this bathing suit I paid $300 for.
Yeah.
I got to put this thing on, even if you're just going to take it off me." That's what she said.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. I just quoted it. That's it.
Yep.
Right? Is it a violation to go try to hook up in this public pool? Now, I know there's only 15 people at this place.
Yeah.
But come on, man. That's public water there.
Yeah, it's I mean, there's 10 people. Like he said, there's 10 people on that island, and they're all in this jacuzzi right now. I kind of think like if you're going to do it, you just do it. And it's like you make it uncomfortable for everyone around you that may be there. The island was basically deserted. Yeah. Except for Jack Black, right? So I think they were fine to do it. Honestly, if it were a busy hotel, then no, it's not okay.
I mean, look, this stuff happens all the time, even with 50 people in the pool. It's probably happening right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, is it a violation for them to be all pissed off that people showed up? Like they got mad when Will came, and then they got mad when Jack Black's there. But it's like, listen, hey man, that pool's not yours.
When you knew that Will was a heel of the movie was when he knew he was the third wheel and was intruding, and he still went in that jacuzzi.
Yeah, he knew.
He should have been like, "Oh, hey, hi guys. Oh, I'll leave you alone now."
He knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah,
you're right.
He knew what he was doing.
And Jack Black was just trying to voyeur over there. He was just trying to watch.
He was, the word is ogle.
He should have just stayed under the water.
And I got to tell you, man, how wet was his joint? It was bothering me. It was bothering me how careless he was in dipping that joint in the pool. The structural integrity of that joint was just
funny, like
ruined.
I was sitting there saying, like, how the hell is he going to light it? You're like, forget the lighting. Like, he's just ruining the thing.
It's falling apart.
He's got to dry it out. He's going to put it on the heater. I thought like I thought Mekhi Phifer was wrong. Like, I get it. He's mad. He's annoyed. He wants to hook up with his girlfriend or whatever. But to be mad that people are in this public pool, that's a whole nother level. But I don't actually think that they were that good of friends with Julie. Like, I don't know. They try to paint it that they're such great friends. This guy didn't care about her. He was only there because she won the contest.
Carla cared.
Carla did. Carla cared about her.
Yeah.
Carla
Mekhi Phifer did not care.
And she didn't seem too mad when Mekhi Phifer died.
Okay. Now let me throw this at you. All right. Okay. How do I put this? You're dating a girl.
Yep.
And her best friend is like a mental nightmare.
Okay.
Can you imagine like being like, all right, with this girl? All right.
Yeah.
Like, you barely know her. All you know is that she's always a bad time and she's always talking about things are going to happen to me.
Yeah.
And you've seen no evidence of this ever happening. Wouldn't you be like, all right, come on, enough of this. We're on vacation, damn it. We're on vacation.
But maybe she needs help or something. You know what I mean? Like, okay.
Sure,
let
she
me say
does.
this. If somebody thinks they're going to get murdered.
Yeah.
I could be okay with that because it's like clearly there's something wrong.
But without the backstory, without knowing the backstory, without her willing to tell you, all you're going by is this girl thinks people are out to kill her. She's nuts.
Yeah, but didn't they knew that Ben Willis was after her before. They just knew that they didn't know that she killed him or almost killed him. Because like it was public in the town, right? It's like, this guy Ben Willis.
Everyone thought Ben Willis was dead.
They thought he was dead after. They thought
right. So
died.
It's like, who's coming to kill me? The guy's already dead.
But see, for me, I could excuse it because it's like, all right, this is PTSD. Like clearly she had some traumatic thing, but this guy's just she's trying to.
You know what? She's getting in the way. Is what
Yes.
she's doing. We're on vacation here, damn it. I've had enough.
He's trying to hook up right now.
Yeah.
He's at the MTV's The Grind over there. But no, you're right. I mean, like, I guess I could, if you're a selfish person like Tyrell or whatever his name was, like, yeah, I guess you could see that would be the case.
I'm just saying I can see both ways. I can see.
No, it's fair. It's a fair thing. And then I'd be more annoyed that they brought Will. It's like, who's this guy? We don't even know this guy. Like, I don't want to be friends with this guy.
Yeah.
Like,
This guy just showed up in the middle of my economics class, in the middle of the semester.
Yeah, well, who the hell is this guy? He just showed up. He's taking
Who's this
class.
guy?
Well, let's talk about the radio contest because that's a good segue. So, to set this up for people, Brandy, Carla, is in. I assumed that was Julie's apartment, but you were saying that they were roommates, possibly.
I thought they were roommates. I guess it doesn't matter which one's right.
But she gets a phone call to the house, and Brandy picks it up, and Julie seemed really upset because she's like, "Hey, my number's unlisted," because she wants to. I mean, she don't want Ben Willis showing up.
She doesn't want the ghost of Ben Willis to call her.
To call her on the phone, and then she has to pay for it, collect.
Yeah,
but
right.
especially in 1998.
Yeah.
But she was all upset about it, and so the radio station calls, and it's clearly Will's voice. Like, it was obviously him to me.
Yeah.
It was obviously, like, the second I heard that, I'm like, that's the guy from the beginning of the movie, and I had never seen this before, by the way.
Yeah.
But since when does a radio station call your house when you never even submitted for a contest?
I don't know. Maybe was this a thing in the 90s?
No. Like, would B104 call your house, or 99?
No, it's always like, oh, be the seventh caller.
You have to call them.
Yeah.
You call them. They don't call you.
Yeah.
Like, what is that? That's where
Red flag.
Reddit/scams. That's where it is, right there.
Yeah,
Like,
red flag.
That's we should post on Reddit scams. It's like, hey, this radio station called and gave me an all-inclusive trip for 4, and they actually wanted to murder me. It's like, that's a scam. That's a total scam.
Maybe
that's your red flag.
Maybe it was easier to scam people back in the 90s, and like even like these are intelligent college students.
All I'll say is no radio station's calling you, asking you to win that thing, and she just went right along with it. And they were all excited. They were going to go on this trip, and Ray was pissed. Now, are you on Ray's side or not? Ray is, by the way, Freddie Prinze Jr. is Ray. Yeah.
So Ray, before this scene, we saw Ray showing up saying, "Hey, come back home for 4th of July." And Julie's like, "Can't do it. My best friend got murdered there. I'm not ready to go back to that town," which 100% believable. Like, can't blame her. And Ray's like, "Oh man, come on. This is bullshit." Presented with the opportunity to go to the Bahamas, what was Ray's reaction? "Oh, you'll go to the Bahamas, but you won't come home with me." This guy, listen.
She invited him.
Listen, now, this goes into a larger conversation about having your girlfriend go away to college and you stay home, right? If you're the stay-at-home guy or girl, you need to do whatever it takes to make that person happy from a long distance. It's not even that long of a distance. They're a drive away. So, but still, the fact that they're not living in the same town,
you're right.
If you want to keep your girlfriend or boyfriend, you better not be a grumpy douche. And he's very grumpy douche to the point where she should have hooked up with Will.
Well, look, I mean, he's got a tough job. He's working on a boat. I'm sure it's like hard, long hours, but you're right. Especially when you have Julie, who for all intents and purposes seems like a beautiful, nice girl. She's a good person. She's beautiful. Good match. But maybe they're not a match. But you're right. Like, I can't blame her for not wanting to go back to the town that she was almost murdered in. Yeah. Her friends died in it. I get that. I understand that.
She's traumatized by the town. You might have a tougher face about it, but you got to understand. She doesn't want to go back there. Like, be cool with that. You come to her.
Also, at the event that her friend was murdered at, right? It's the pageant, whatever the seashell pageant is, or whatever the hell it was. The Croakers.
Golden Miss Croak of the Year.
Golden Crooner Croaker. the driving crooner contest crooner is what it is. They're trying to make it look fake. Yeah. But all I can say is I agree with you 100%. 100%. But having said that, she invited him on her vacation. Like, okay, yeah, we're not going to go to the Golden Crooners thing, but we're going to go to the Bahamas. Like, why not? This
is the most unrealistic part of the movie, and I say this because, Drew, how old is Ray? 19, 20 years old?
Something like that, right? They're just graduated high school.
If you are 19 or 20 years old, and I don't care what job you have, it's not a very good job, or at least a job that's like it'll be there, right? You get offered a trip to the Bahamas, and you're going to be like, I gotta work. You would as a 19-year-old, you would blow off whatever responsibility you had to go to the Bahamas at 19.
I think part of it was that he was mad at her too, so that doesn't help.
Mad
anybody.
at her, yeah, mad at her for not wanting to visit the grave of her best friend.
I wonder if some of it is more like he's annoyed that he's working on this boat and she's hanging out in college with all of these people and he's left behind.
He can go to college too if he wants.
But that's what he wanted to do, right? That was his choice.
That's what he wanted to do. It's his choice.
And then he pulled out this nice engagement ring with Kenny Powers' brother that he was gonna propose to, right?
I'm not knocking the fisherman, right? It's fine.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that as a 19-year-old, you would blow off anything to go on a vacation.
Yeah.
With your girlfriend.
Oh, sure. I mean, look, Mekhi Phifer was about to be...
especially with Will hanging out on the periphery.
Yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
So the other thing that I thought was interesting was he saw Will hanging around. She's like, oh, he's just a friend. And what did he said something along the lines of like, every guy that wanted to hook up with a girl always started as a friend.
Starts off as a friend, yeah.
Which is true. Like, it's true, right? They're always hanging around.
All the more reason you can't be like, he's got to be like Mr. Get Along at this point in their relationship because it's tenuous.
When Brandy at this point, her friend was really pushing her to really break up with Ray, right? She's like, oh, you guys aren't good with each other. You got to date Will. What does Brandy know about Will other than he's hanging around in economics?
She just thinks he's a cute boy. Cute boy.
The guy was a geek, man. I'm sorry.
Wasn't that cute? I'll tell you that much.
I mean, not that we're running the Miss Croker contest over here, but
Mr. Croker. Hey, let me ask you before we move on. Did you know that Rio was not the correct answer?
So I did, only because I know about Brazil because I work with a lot of people from Brazil, but that's where I knew it. But at the time when I would have seen this, I probably wouldn't have known that.
Yeah. Yeah, when I saw it when I was 14, I don't know. I had no idea.
Yeah, I knew it now. Yeah. But I mean, she read it off the back of like a coffee bag.
It sounded, that was. I mean, in my limited knowledge of South America, I would have said Rio.
If
it's totally believable.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with it, it's an honest mistake that you could make. It's
and apparently it was the capital until like 1960 something.
Yeah, well, it's like I guess. If somebody was not from the U.S. and they said Philadelphia was the capital of America, like maybe somebody would think New York City. People would think Boston. New York probably, New York or Boston, like a major city or something, right? But yeah,
Orlando, Florida.
I didn't know at the time, but I knew it now when I was watching it. I was like, oh, that's not right. Like, that combined with the guy's voice, I knew it right away. Like, okay, that's not it. So what about the trip to the Bahamas? Because the thing is, Freddie Prinze Jr. decided that he was going to surprise her, and Brandy was like, he's not coming, he's not going to come, and she hedges the bet and she sends Will Benson on the trip. Like, he shows up. What if Freddie Prinze Jr. showed up? Like, would he go home? Like, what was he just tagging along? Like, what was Brandy's plan there?
Like not Ben, whatever, the slickerman, whatever his name is, his plan was, we'll put this dummy in the middle of the road, and he'll stop. If he didn't, there was enough room to drive around. If he didn't stop, he absolutely would have showed up on time to be there for that trip. So I guess Will would have been like, hey.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Stop? Would you stop?
I
like what Kenny Powers' brother said. He said, keep going and call for help.
Yeah.
Because what are you going to do? Like, it's dangerous to stop. You might get hit.
You know what? And there's plenty of traps. And it was a trap, right?
Yeah.
People... Like side of the road. That's why you don't. It's why you don't pick up hitchhikers. It's that same thing. It's like people spring tracks on people. You know.
You drive and call the cops.
Yeah.
That guy was. I mean, he was dead anyway, right? Like that's what You got to call the cops.
Yeah. He might as well have been. If he's not dead, it's a dummy, and it was a dummy.
Exactly. He's gonna die anyway. So you know it's bad. But no, I don't think I would have. I mean, you want to stop, right? But you're right. It's dangerous. You gotta call the police. That's unless the guy's like visibly writhing in pain or something, maybe then you stop. But he looked dead. I mean, he looked like a dead body. So, but yeah, I think the other thing is, so then Brandy brings this guy. Is it a violation? Again, maybe take away the fact that this guy is, co-murderer here.
Sure.
Is it okay to go on essentially a honeymoon with someone else's girlfriend?
I think it's it's fine, right? Someone's got to fill the spot, and you don't want Julie to be the third wheel, and you try to kind of want to play matchmaker here if you're Brandy. So like I get it. It's a little annoying from Julie's perspective, but like it's acceptable, I feel.
Well, and then what about the fact that like he was completely terrified of flying? Like, do you think that's like a turnoff for her? Because she was.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, hope not. She might think it's endearing. I don't know, or something. Another person in another situation might.
Mekhi Phifer did not. He was
no, but then Mekhi Phifer was puking on the boat. So what are you gonna do?
I like that they did that back to back, where it was like but this guy's talking about surface to air missiles and stuff.
I don't think that's pretty masculine, like toxic masculinity, as they call it, to like judge a person's character by like how they do it, like if they're afraid of flying or something like that. You know what I mean? I
agree.
So it's pretty superficial to judge them by that, but someone might judge someone by that. And it's a shame.
Well, it is, but I think so. Was he actually scared of flying, or was he playing it up because he was trying to act like a normal guy?
Playing it up, Drew.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Daniel Day-Lewis ain't got shit on him.
This guy. But like,
no, I think it was real because the guy's probably never been on a plane because he's Mr. Fisherman's son, and he was so cool on the boat. Obviously he's used to being on a boat. I think it was air and sea type thing. Yeah. I feel like he's never been on a plane. Yep.
I thought maybe he was like joking and completely playing it up because the turn at the end when he was like, "Hi, Julie." Like his voice changed and everything. He turned into the voice of the Scream guy.
Yeah, greatest actor of all time. So it's possible, but I think it was the land and sea type thing, air, land and sea type.
What if you were him? Would you feel comfortable like sort of going on this honeymoon and you could sleep in the room? Like it's sort of implied here. Like I feel.
Yeah, I mean, if it was Julie, I mean, I'll take my chances of her shutting me down.
Whatever it takes, right? Like whatever. You're the opposite. You're like the anti-Ray. You got to do the opposite, whatever it takes.
If I'm not there, I'm definitely not going to have a chance with her. So I might as well be there and get shut down.
What about this resort? So what'd you think of this place?
Let me tell you, man, I would visit. Would hurricane season or not, I would visit. Place sucked. Staff sucks.
0 stars on Yelp or whatever.
0 stars on Yelp, but
they kind of were miserable, weren't they? Like whether you worked there or not, like come on now.
So
they were.
But let me tell you this, right? So if you're at that place and say the radio station, say it was a real radio station, there's no murder or anything like that. They kind of pulled one over on you. They gave you this trip, and it kind of sucks, right? Everyone's wants to go away. The bartender sucks. The whole place is to yourself. Wouldn't that be kind of cool? Even if it was raining.
Yeah.
Like, you could tell the bartender, listen, this has all been paid for. You can go.
Yeah,
we'll pour our own drinks.
Serve ourselves.
Yeah, we'll serve ourselves. We don't need housekeeping. Go away. It's fine. We don't need you, bellboy. Give me the keys, and we're good to my room. Right?
That's how I feel.
It'd be great. It'd be kind of great to have the place to yourself, even if it was raining. Don't care if it's raining.
So I kind of like the idea, and maybe I'll just ask you now, like, so that I wasn't sure about what they were setting up here. So they were sort of saying that it was storm season, but I didn't get the sense that the place shuts down and they left it open for them, or, hey, it's kind of slow. We know a hurricane's coming and they didn't want to deal with it. Because it seemed to me more like it was a slow season because it's storm season, so people typically don't go there. But like these places need to be open. Like there's no way they're shutting that place down.
I feel like it's not closed, but they never get guests during this time, right?
But it's
so
like
maybe the staff is on call because if they don't have any future reservations, and for this radio station thing to call in, and the radio station knew they'd be the only ones on the island, makes me think that those people were forced to stay there. Normally they would go wherever, and if guests were coming in, they would be on call and fly back.
How much money did Ben Willis pay to keep this place open? Because I'm telling you, like, no, first off, if the place is going to close, like 4 people are not going to keep this place open. Yeah, there's no way.
I think it's open all the 365. Yeah. It's just that they're so used to never getting people.
All right,
but then it was like a shocker. It was like a shocker that it was actually there were people coming.
But I like the idea of being, I mean, assuming that you're safe, right? In a place, right? Like obviously hurricane season destroys some of these places, but the idea of maybe batten down the hatches, hunker down, whatever, right? During a hurricane at this place, like what better place to be? Like they have a storm shelter. You could hang out there as long as you're not have a murderer running around.
Yeah.
Like you can, like you said, sing some karaoke. hang out in the rooms. Like it seemed like a cool. If you're going to be anywhere during a hurricane, that's not your own house. Like, all right.
And by the way, like if there's no lightning around, if there's no thunderstorms, like swimming in the rain is kind of fun.
That. I used to do that back in the day. You know, it's like the place was cool, and you hang out with Jack Black. You hang out with the guy doing voodoo. Like
use the guy's drugs, man. He's cool. Like,
use
let
the
him
drugs.
Go. Like he's not cool, but like he's fine. Like he's harmless. You know what I mean?
He just wanted to give them drugs so bad.
Why wouldn't they let him be friends? Like he's a friendly guy.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the staff here, because I want to talk to you. The first guy that I want to talk about is the main desk manager, who reminded me of Dangle, like a poor man's Dangle.
A poor man's Dangle.
9/11.
Yeah.
But I can't blame this guy for being mad at them because they kept ringing the bell, and it's a violation.
Please,
I'm sorry.
With the bell, stop it with the bell.
How many bell rings is acceptable before you need to stop ringing?
Like it's a 1, 2, 3 max.
I agree.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yep.
And then you wait.
And you wait.
And then if you get nothing after like maybe 15, 20 seconds, you go ding, ding, ding. You don't lay on it. Never. Yeah. You never lay on it. You assume that no one's there.
She was hammering the bell like, well, the guy was in vision. Like he was there and she's still banging the bell. And it's like, we get it. He heard you.
Yeah. She started everything off on the wrong foot.
Yeah.
That staff.
Maybe that's why Ben Willis murdered them, because he was so mad about the bell.
Total violation. Definitely violation.
We don't even need to talk about the deckhand guy, like the guy that had the fake Jamaican accent for like half a second.
All he did was show up and die.
So and then the ferry guy who was driving the boat, but like all he did was get held at gunpoint and lose his boat to Freddie Prinze Jr. And then you get the bartender. Like, what do you think about the bartender having a bottle opener or cleavage? Are you okay with that?
Listen, I don't care how, what a buxomus you are, to say it nicely. Sweat is sweat, right?
Yeah, sweat. Some people like that thing.
Would you like if I put the bottle opener in my crotch?
What's the equivalent of man cleavage?
Twist, pop your bottle? No, you wouldn't. Same situation.
What's the equivalent of like man cleavage? Is it like your butt crack? Like
it's the taint, right? I don't know. Or the what are the is it the gooch? What are the
the grundle?
The grundle, yeah, that's it. It's probably not the equivalent at all. So Jack Black.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh yeah. So Jack Black. No, but the bartender. I mean, she just seemed miserable, and I don't blame her because they were kind of annoying.
She didn't plan on working until she saw that. I guess.
And they got her in her hiding spot.
Yeah. She didn't have to be in this movie. Like there was no need for her.
There was no reason for half the people in this movie. It was just, hey, we need people working at this resort. And then the poor housekeeper, we didn't even talk about her. She just got murdered. It
was for body count, up in the body count.
I think it was like 18 deaths or something I saw or whatever.
Yeah, it was 4 up in the body count. That's what this was all about.
But yeah, Jack Black. I mean, dude, like criminal underuse of a great actor.
All right. Now I'll say this, right? He wasn't great in this movie. He was pretty annoying. He was very much being Jack Black. And I liked him, but he wasn't great. I'm going to be honest. But the movie lacked like life that he brought to the scenes he was in that I felt like they could have used more of him.
He should have been hanging around with them.
Yeah. He should have been alive during more of the chase, right? To do the comic relief thing while they were being killed.
Because
eventually you get them.
Because it reminds you of Club Dread. If I think about it, it's like it reminds me of Club Dread.
Club Dread is pretty much a spoof of this movie.
It's a spoof of this movie.
Yeah.
But like that's why that movie's good but maybe they're afraid of him stealing the show. He's too good. Like he's too good for these like lifeless acting.
But I would have been the last 30 minutes would have been so much more enjoyable if he was with them, running around, hiding, him cracking liners, getting high, doing all that stuff.
It would have been much better. I just feel like, and I keep saying this, but we should start the ballots right now. He's already on the ballot for. I mean, we're gonna have like 50 people on the 2023 Last Row Awards for that guy award because he's so good. Like he was so good in this, and I loved his hair and the way that he was just hanging around. But he wasn't in it enough for me.
But again, he wasn't really a star. He definitely wasn't a star.
No,
he was really kind of just coming up in movies. He was kind of in bit roles.
Yeah.
Or not even comic relief roles. Like in Cable Guy, he was the straight man, right? So this was kind of like the beginning of him being goofy.
Yeah. Well, was it in the Jackal? He was like the arms dealer, I think.
Yeah.
And he was testing the gun, and Bruce Willis shoots his arms off or whatever it
Yeah.
is. Like, you're right. It was right
in
around that time before he took off.
Mars Attacks. He played like the army guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he was just becoming that guy until he turned into a movie star.
One of our old games from a long time ago was Jack Black was in that.
Jack Black was in there.
So yeah, not enough. Criminally underrated. I love Jack Black. You either love him or you hate him, and I love him, and he wasn't in enough. But what about Bill Cosby or Bill Cobsey?
Bill Cobsey?
The guy who I thought he's in everything, right? Return of him.
Yeah, he's in a bunch of things.
Estes.
He looks like Bill Cosby. His name is Bill Cobbs. You can call him Cobsey, but he's not Bill Cosby. He is Sylvester Stallone's cop friend in Demolition Man back in the day. He sees him again in the future, among many other things. And he was a character that also made no sense in this movie.
He's a voodoo specialist.
Voodoo specialist. They thought it was him. They tried to give us a fake out. It was never in a million years him. Never the killer.
It was so obviously not him.
He knew Ben Willis was the killer, or Benson. He knew Benson was the killer, but he lured him out for some reason, tried to kill him himself instead of telling the group.
Dude, negligence is what that is. He was
Just
trying to
outsmart
him.
It's just a bunch of bullshit, and I'm just mad about the character. Let's move on.
We said the housekeeper. There was probably some other people too. Whatever, it doesn't even matter. But the most important thing to get to is Ray's journey here. You coined this movie, Ray's journey. Take it away, man. This is your time to shine here, because you nailed it.
Look, so this Ray's journey, right, from him deciding he was going to go to the Bahamas all the way until the point that he makes it there to make the save, right? Maybe 10 minutes of screen time, if that, right?
He's not in it enough. I like this aspect of it.
Yeah, like he's barely in this movie, but I feel like there's some of the best scenes.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because I'm making fun of him, because I don't mean to make fun of Freddie Prinze Jr. He's not great in this movie. Like, he's not good. He's okay.
I thought he was one of the better actors in this.
Well, of course, right? But like, I liked him. I liked his story.
Yeah, me too.
I just wish there was more to it. Like, it was very, like, he's all sad and had to pawn his engagement ring he was going to give to Julie for $300 and a 6-shooter
to Bobby Elvis.
Man. To Bobby Elvis, aka
Flash,
the crooked cop from Batman Begins.
He just didn't like the taste.
Didn't like the taste.
He should be in there. Did you see his face light up when he walks in with the engagement ring?
Yeah, but he shut it off real quick. It's like, you gotta have a poker face. If you're a pawn guy, you gotta have a poker face, because I'll tell you what, brother, I don't have a market for this. Best I could do is $200.
Best I could do.
You're selling that for $3,000. You know it, and he knows it.
When he said 2, I thought he was talking about 2,000, and then he's like 250, I'm like,
yeah, whoa,
what?
$300.
That was a big ring, and then he looks at it, under the microscope, and he's like, this is a couple, like, it's not his market, but he's still got the gem looker thing, whatever the hell it is. But no, you're right. I wish there was more of this.
Let me long story short. It's so, like, he decides he's going to go to the Bahamas with his friend. Him and his friend go, finds the dead body, as we said, checks on the dead body. And Drew, what happens when you, like, go up to a dead body? Like, all of a sudden you're suspect number 1, right?
That's the thing, man. It was the most risky thing. Like, that's another reason why you don't go to the dead body. You go call the cops and you say, I saw this car. Because the second he touched it, his prints are on there. His hair is on there. The
prosecutors are salivating once you touch that body.
I thought that's actually the angle that they were going to take, to be honest, when he was in the hospital and then they showed up before he Batmaned out of there. Like, it was... Like, because they had the cops coming and they're like, oh, they said that the Ben Willis was there, and it's like, I thought they were gonna nail him. Yep.
So he got out. Slickerman shows up, kills his poor best friend, goes after him. I don't know how he ended up tumbling. He was running and he, like, almost got hit by an 18-wheeler. Tumbles down this hill comically, ends up in the hospital, escapes from the hospital, and then from here. It's almost like he's a fugitive or something, but he's not.
So are you a fugitive if you escape from the hospital? I guess if you were under police watch, maybe you are.
Yeah, but you could check yourself out anytime you want. It's like, it's whatever, man.
It's not the Hotel California, I guess.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
But why did he have to go out the window? Why didn't he just walk out the front door?
I don't know, man. And then we get this backwoods journey of him going to the pawn shop, getting the gun, getting on the bus, popping a pain pill. Lady gives him the stink eye.
Was offended. That offended me. Like,
yeah.
he
you
hurt.
didn't like that, did you?
No, it really upset me. He just had a rough day. Like, and she's giving him this eye.
Yeah,
like
she has no idea of the day he's had.
Do you think there was a subplot where she was calling the police about like some escaped guy, and then the police go after him? Like, I wondered.
She's the type that would. Like, she has no. She's just judging. She's very judging.
Because I wondered if the cops were after him.
Did you find it amusing that he stole a boat at gunpoint?
Yes, I did.
I don't know why that was funny to me, but like, let me steal your boat so I can go drive it in the storm of the century.
So that reminds me of when Eric Quaylen was holding that lady at gunpoint from the helicopter. Like, it was that ridiculous to me when we talk about cliffhanger. Like, what's he gonna do? The guy's giving him the boat. He's like, what? He wanted him. That's the other thing. You're nuts if you sail in a hurricane on like a tiny fishing boat.
So you know the phrase, "It's your funeral."
Yeah.
Perfect use of it right here. If the guy would have said that,
take that boat.
The guy has you at gunpoint. He wants your boat during the storm of the century. Hey, buddy, it's your funeral. Take it.
For a second, I thought that he was asking him to take him. Like,
I thought that's different. Yeah, drive me while I point this gun at you.
Then you need the gun.
He knows how to drive a boat. He's fine.
Yeah, that's what I forgot for a second because I was like, oh, geez. But like I love this journey, and we didn't get enough of it. Like, I wish there was more of this. But
as I said in the beginning, it would have been so much cooler if there was no killer and it was Ben just on this blind rage because he's this guy's trying to horn in on my girlfriend.
And she's PTSD'd because of what happened before.
She thinks there's a killer out to get him. It's like there's the whole thing.
I actually thought it was going to be Will pretending to be the slicker man, but then they started to show it, and then it was a tag team like in Scream. Yeah. Where it was the two of them. I would have liked it better.
But if he was going off and on, taking the slicker on, taking the slicker off, that would have been too much like Scream.
Yeah. But, I mean, they kind of are the same. It's just, I just don't understand, like, why he's even after Julie at this point. Like, it seemed like he was going after her specifically.
Yeah.
Like, it's over.
It doesn't make sense because, like, everyone's equally to blame. And I got to call bullshit on the tanning bed scenario, right? So in all of Slickerman's kills, he's no nonsense. He's gutting you. He's hooking you. It's over, right? He doesn't take his time. He doesn't play with you. All that stuff, right? He gets cute in the tanning bed when he has her dead to rights and puts a zip tie on to try to cook her. There's no way.
You're going to cook her over 20 years. Like, it doesn't work that way.
There's no way, man. He would have sliced and diced her. He doesn't play with anybody.
I swear, like I joked about it before. They were expecting a Deuce Bigelow 2 European Gigolo scenario where it's like they cook the person, but it's like and we talk about the award in the beginning. I've never been in a tanning bed. Like, I get it. Like, you turn it up, but like, he didn't even turn it up. They should have showed him turn it up. Maybe he wanted to kill her that way, but you're right. He should have hooked her. If he really wanted to kill her, he should have just done that. And why didn't they just unplug the machine? Like, that's all they needed to do. Just unplug it. Like, she's stuck, but unplug it. Get some scissors, undo the zip tie. They're using like a 5-pound weight to bash the thing and put glass all over her.
Yeah,
she's going to get
glasses
cut.
Flying in her eyes, right?
So I have a question for you though. So Ben Willis is after you guys. You say you're on the island with your friends and all this stuff.
Yeah,
they're all like, we got to get the hell off this island. We got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Do you really? I mean, there's a hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
This thing, the guy said the place might be destroyed.
Yeah.
Would you rather take a boat out in the hurricane to try to escape him? Like, what's deadlier? Or trying to fight him head on with what you have there and your friends?
Let me, and I want to make this very clear. I've never been more sure of anything in my life. If there was one horror villain where I thought I had a legit chance to beat his ass, it's the Slicker Man.
It's this guy.
Standing toe to toe with this guy, even if I was unarmed and he had his hook. He's at an advantage, yes, but I still think I could possibly kick his ass, probably disarm him. Let alone if I found a weapon. Like, if I had the axe that Julie found, forget about it.
She just gave it up. Like,
I respect the ocean. I respect the storm of the century. I don't respect Ben Willis.
Yeah, look, what did he get on the villain scale before? Like a 6? I think we rounded up because we fixed it.
6 out of 20.
It was like 6 out of 20. And I know that the day after tomorrow storm got a 20 out of 20. Like,
Mother Nature wins.
You are not gonna take that boat out and not die. Like a fishing boat, get the hell out of here.
Yeah,
like,
forget about it.
No way.
Forget
it. Like the boat guy said hell no to Jack Black. He was like, "There's a hurricane coming. Like, no way. No amount of weed is gonna get me to go out there at all." Slickerman, you're right. I don't know why, but I feel like I could beat this guy too. Like, he doesn't. Like, I guess a guy with a hook who's constantly showing up in a rain slicker is kind of creepy. But you're right. Of all the horror villains, this guy is like kind of amateur.
Why is he killing everybody? Because he gets the drop on people.
Yeah.
But if you see him coming, who cares? Screw him. Please.
When she had him trapped in the hallway and he was in the glass hallway and she had the axe, she should have just thrown the axe at him. Yeah. He's not going to block that with his hook.
So the scene in Jason Takes Manhattan, where the guy on the rooftop fist fights him and he gets his head punched off his body, like, this is not that. This is not that.
Yeah, this guy's annexing this island here. He's taking it over. But
the Slicker Man did not take the Bahamas.
So Ben Willis takes
Ray did. Ray kind of did.
Ray did, man.
Ray took the Bahamas.
Yeah, and Ray apparently Ray has skills enough to like navigate a hurricane in like a little fishing boat. Apparently, so
I know what you did last summer too. Ray takes the Bahamas.
Yeah, Ray takes. So for the record, you're saying you're not getting on that boat. You're going to try to fight this dude.
Yeah, I'm going to fight the guy. I'm going to fight.
Same thing.
Finish my vacation.
Well, let me ask you this: if they kill him this time, which they seemingly do, is it actually murder now, or was it self-defense?
It's absolutely self-defense, of course.
And should they feel guilty about it because they thought they killed him? Now they're just finishing the job here.
Let me ask you this though: if you self-defense kill the guy that people already thought was dead, and put him in a grave that gets buried, all of a sudden you're on an island with a bunch of dead bodies. Yeah, are you on the hook for all those dead bodies?
You are.
How do you explain that one? How do you explain?
They're like, this guy was already dead.
This guy, it was Ben Willis. Ben Willis died last summer. I know what you did last summer. You killed him.
They never found the body. What was in the grave there? That's why. Yeah. That's why they never found him. You're right. They're going down for all the murders. They murdered the housekeeper. They murdered the guy. They're all in the shelter.
Yeah, and can we stop with the bodies in the same room, like collecting the bodies in the bunker? Like, who had time for that?
Yeah, I think about that all the time. I'm imagining like the scene they don't show you of him dragging the bodies. Yeah, like it's a waste of time.
So much work. He's got to be exhausted.
That was a waste.
That's why I'm going to beat him up. He's been dragging dead bodies all night.
Yeah, that's why he used all his energy on that. Yeah. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy just for like a 1 second gag of it was
I gotcha.
Like and how about before we end here too in a couple minutes? How about Brandy? I have to call this out too. So she's walking on a glass ceiling, a glass window.
Oh my god!
And the glass starts to crack.
Yeah.
So she doubles down and puts both feet on the same glass pane.
It's like, maybe 2 feet will be better.
Don't you think? And I saw this. Apparently, she was supposed to die in the movie originally instead of the bartender, but then they changed it so the bartender died.
Yeah.
But if you were Brandy and you fall through that, I mean, you're falling through glass windows onto wood. Like, isn't that prime for a death scene there where she has like a piece of wood sticking out of her like abdomen, and it's like, I'm sorry, I didn't make it. Like that's like the perfect thing, but it's Brandy,
that's better than him getting you, I guess.
Yeah, like she died on her own causes.
This is the same character that fell through the damn attic just 20 seconds ago.
Exactly.
Prior to that, it's like
watch your step there.
Yeah, not good with the steps.
I don't know whether I don't think we need to villain skill this guy. Let's just go through what we did last time. So who's the killer? Is it Ben Willis or is it Will Benson?
Willis. I don't know if Ben Benson killed anyone.
Okay, so
maybe. I don't think he ever donned the slicker.
Unless he did, I don't know.
I don't know.
He should. He didn't earn it yet. His dad was still alive.
Yeah, if he did, they did not make it clear in the movie.
So last time we gave him, and we rounded up, so we changed this. But last time when we did this, we gave him a 3 for his look and style. We gave him a 1 for his hideout and his lair. We gave him a 1 for his plan, and we gave him a 1 for his henchman. Do we want to update it for this movie in any category? And if any, I would say henchman because of the radio scheme and all this stuff.
She did get better as planned too. I mean, hey man, elaborate or not, the radio station hoax was kind of cool.
I mean, it was creative. You got to give him that. You got to give him that.
I would give him 2 bonus points, 1 for plan, 1 for henchman.
Yeah, I'm giving him. I think we need to keep it at a 3 for his looking style because he actually has a literal hook hand now. Well, that's kind of badass.
Yeah.
His hideout and his lair. You could argue it's this entire island, though, isn't it? Like
it's not his.
I mean,
he didn't buy it.
He owned it until he died, I guess, because he killed everybody.
We already gave him a pity 3 points anyway. I feel like those 3 for looking style were pity points because we knew that he wasn't getting anything for the rest.
Are you giving him a 2 for his plan now instead of a 1?
I'll give him an extra point because that radio station, that was cool. I liked it.
And then what about his henchman? Does his son count? Like, it's a father-son business.
He gathered them all. I like
it should have been Ben Willis and Sons. That's his enterprise of slickering. That's what it is. All right, so
Will Ben Sons.
All right, so he gets 2 more points. So he goes from a 6 to an 8. So he had a 3, 1, 3 for looking style, 1 for the hideout and lair because he doesn't even have a boat this time.
Yeah,
and then he gets a 2 for his plan and a 2 for his henchman. So you got an 8.
It barely moves him up the list, and it keeps him far away from all the best villains. So I'm fair. It's fair.
He's up there with Devlin and Takahashi from Johnny Mnemonic and Excessive Force, and right above Chris Brander and Ivan Ooze. So he's right in there. So I don't know. So what do you think of this? So maybe we can wrap it up here. But like, did you like it better than the first one?
No, but I like had fun.
Yeah,
like I wasn't bored. And I guess that's like half the battle with these sequels, especially a horror sequel. It's really easy for a horror sequel to spin out of control quickly. And I had fun. It was dumb. The story was terrible. The acting wasn't very good. Too many fake surprises. The kills were uninspiring. But I don't know. Put it all together, and I don't know. It's fine. I kind of liked it.
If you take out the 10 minutes, like I said before, of Mekhi Phifer complaining about his blue balls, then I think I would like it maybe like 1 more. But I like the first one better for sure. It's a better movie. And it's like the first one wasn't a great movie by any means. But like when you watch this, I think you almost retroactively makes the first one great.
You know what makes the first one so great to me is that it takes itself so damn seriously.
Yes.
Ryan Phillippe has a lot to do with it, and Freddie Prinze Jr. They both took it so seriously. And it was one of Jennifer Love Hewitt's first movies, and she was kind of like a little cringy in it. So it has this comically bad aspect to it that you don't want your legacy to be that, but it is what it is. And that's why it's better than this one.
Yeah. I think this one tried to do too much. I still liked it and I enjoyed it, but I think the first one's definitely a better movie. If we're talking about summer of sequels here, I don't know that I would say National Treasure 2 is better than the first one. And I don't know that I would say this one is better than the first one, but I think they were both like worthy sequels for what they were.
They were like, I'm happy they exist.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
Yeah. So I'm curious what you guys think. I mean, if you're watching along with us, we posted the summer of sequels for 2023 schedule out there. So we still have a bunch of more movies coming up here. We'll be back on Thursday, August 10th with Major League 2. Then we have August 24th, 2023, Speed 2 Cruise Control, September 7th, Child's Play 2, September 21st, RoboCop 2. So we're going all the way through sort of the end of the summer here. And I'm looking forward to watching some of these other movies. So if you guys are definitely enjoying the show, write us in, thelastRowPodcast@gmail.com. Check us out on all the social channels, Instagram, Facebook, anywhere you go, at The Last Row Pod. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you listen to your podcast, you can search for The Last Row Podcast. And if you're enjoying the show, please consider leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, Spotify. Thanks to everybody that took the time and left one for us. We really appreciate it. And like I said, we'll be back in 2 weeks on Thursday, August 10th with Major League 2.
We'll see.
Do you think if Jack Black didn't pop up there, would he have stayed there watching? Was he like, did he ruin it for himself there?
Yeah, if he would have just been like by the pool steps on the other side,
smoking a doobie.
It could have just been.
I think that he ruined it for himself there.
He's just a loud guy. He's never not gonna like show up, right?
He doesn't know how.
He's not one to